Allow me to say good morning again, everyone. Allow me to say good morning again, everyone. Yeah, I know today is just a crazy day already. Yeah, it's just a mix up kind of callaloo soupish day. But we're good otherwise, right? Good morning, Rita. Come on in, guys. Um, got some stuff to talk about. I was hoping to be joined by my good friend this morning, but he had some training to do, so didn't had to reschedule. Thank God I can talk by myself, so I don't need to. I don't necessarily go crazy when my guests can't make it for whatever reason. Good morning, roomies. Good morning, Gieds. Good morning, Tamasha. Linda. Good morning, Narissa. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, I was trying to capture the announcements by the Minister for Health in regards to the reopening of schools. So November 1st to 12th, tentatively, sort of rollout approach, and focusing more on students who were sort of disadvantaged and didn't get the opportunity to have the virtual learning experience, probably no access to computers or internet or whatever the case might be. And we have to take those children into consideration because, trust me, they're lagging behind. Today is also another important day in our history, October 19th. October 19th, 1983, talking about the what happened on that day. My guess we were supposed to have a conversation on that. It seems as though we do the same thing every year. So when he canceled, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's for good because it's like every year we do the same thing, talk about it, and then we go back to our business. And until the next time again, So, but it's a very important day in our history, and it's important that we continue to, talk about it because it seems as though it's something that will be gone from our memories, especially when the older folks who were part of it, who lived it, who know what it was all about, go to the great beyond. What happens after that? Because year after year we talk about the need to include that in our history, in our schools, in our curriculum, in our just about everyday life. I swear we're one set of people who don't seem to be proud of our history, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. We don't. It's just like gone with the wind. I look at places like Jamaica, and yesterday was it their Heroes Day or something like that, and the special tribute they pay to people who did something worthy of commendation, like an entire day for Heroes Day. And whether it is in the field of arts, whether it's sports, whether it's culture, whether it's education, whatever, whether it's music, they have people that they highlight, people that they look up to. And there are so many people who died and did good for this country, and you don't see them being highlighted for whatever reason, or being commemorated for whatever reason. Or not only recently we saw that statue of what's his face, no disrespect, Sir Eric Matthew Gary, being mounted at the Botanical Gardens. But apart from that, for example, Peter Bain just died, right? And for those of you who looked at the funeral yesterday, I didn't get the opportunity while it was ongoing, but when I got home, I took the time to look at it. And in my little post that I did on Facebook, I mentioned, growing up knowing this man is like he's the father of all children, made everybody comfortable, looked out for everybody. And of course, my first mass experience being with him, playing mass with him, and my first party experience with him at his dance hall back in the day, Baines Upper Level. And him just looking out for everybody, and seeing you, and probably might seeing you in some sort of position that you're not supposed to be in, and be like, hey, or and then my mother was one of the seamstresses for his band, every year religiously, sewed for the band. And he not only in culture, he was also a DJ, he was also a sportsman, cricket. And you heard so many good things yesterday about his life, how he dedicated his life to serving people. And I'm wondering, okay, he's dead, he's gone, funeral, laid to rest. What happens now? Is that going to be the end? Is that going to be the last time we hear his name unless it's mentioned by his children? Or is there something more that's going to be done, especially in the town of Grenville, in St. Andrew, or not just Grenville, but St. Andrew? He touched so many lives. He played such an integral role in the lives of young people. So many people could say, you know what, I had some sort of running with him, and it was always pleasant. Never felt uncomfortable. Looked out for everyone. So I'm just waiting with bated breath to see what's gonna happen from here on out. If it's gonna be a case of another one gone and he's gone and forgotten, or it's gonna be a case of what, this man did so much for us, for a little island. Let's find some way to I'm trying to share. Let's find some way for his memory to live on. And that is what I'm waiting for. And it's the same thing for our history. You know, Brian, you're so right. History, bad or good, must be recognized. And for some reason, I don't know why it is that we don't seem to be we don't seem to be a people who care much about our history. And every year around this time, you'll ask, younger folks, their thoughts on October 19th, and they can't tell you anything. They don't know. They just don't know, you know? So I really hope we will change that. I really, really hope that we can change that, because listen, a people without a history. So if you don't know your history, if you don't know where you're coming from, it's not a good look. So I really hope that more can be done, by the powers that be. And yesterday again, someone was saying, they went to the funeral, and of course, the protocols and the regulations in terms of gatherings, and 20 or how many people at a funeral, and the amount of people that turned out for that funeral, and it couldn't contain the people coming out to pay their best wishes, and to pay their last respect to a man that they've known for the greater part of their lives, and who they've interacted with. There was no way people was going to stay away from that, see him laid to rest. So again, just want to extend condolences to the family um, of Peter Bain. And like I said, I hope we have something to remember him always, something in his honor, something, name, rename, something. We have all kind of old street name. Let me take them a music one. Or they share the live and coming in. All these people that we know, we hear of streets and places named after. Do we even know those people? For example, in town, there are some street names. Do we even know those people? Sometimes I Google them and like, who are these people? Where did they come from? And you have people who live here, born here, made a contribution here. And most of these people where we have places and streets and whatever named after, they've never lived here. They probably made some contribution somewhere, or because of the association of something or somebody, just have a street named after them. I think that is something we really need to push for. Like all these old names of all these people who probably died donkey years ago, we don't even know them. Their family don't even care. But we have people who live here who contribute to the development of this country, and we're naming stuff after people who don't even never even kicked the ball here. That makes absolutely no sense. Whether it's cultural ambassadors, artists, so many people that died, that made worthwhile contributions to this rock, and they just die, and everything dies with them. I remember them probably on the anniversary of their death or their birthday or something like that. We remember them, but there's nothing tangible, nothing you can see that reminds you of them, that this person, you know what, they're gone, but the memory will forever live on, because we have this street name after them, we have this building name after them. Who is Princess Alice? We have Princess Alice Hospital. Who is Princess Alice? What did Princess Alice do for Grenada? What was Princess Alice's claim to fame? Who is she? Anybody know can help me? Send me a WhatsApp or call me or on the live and tell me who the hell is Princess Alice? I've been asking that question since I was like little growing up, and we went to the hospital. Princess Alice Hospital. Who is Princess Alice? What did Princess Alice do for us that we named the whole hospital after her? These are the things that I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody on the live know who she is and can share. I would really love to know a day like today, October 19th. I would really love if somebody could tell me who Princess Alice is and all those other names. What's the name of that street over there in town? A number of them. There's a number of them, a number of streets and places or have you that we don't know nobody. We don't know these people. So I think we really need to rally harder because it's like we're just okay with things that Grenada has been like this. Like, oh God, King Hatchet was a hammer, and we are so against change, you know. And I was just listening to some of the speeches by Morris, and listen, call Dr. Mitchell charismatic, but I don't think he's anywhere close to Morris. Morris Bishop commands your attention, that he wants you, that you have to listen. His command of the English language, his presence, his the way he speaks, it commands attention that you literally had to stop and listen. Sometimes you're not even hearing what he's saying, but just the commanding tone, it makes you stop and listen. I was listening to a couple of his speeches last night, and this man, and I'm saying to myself, wow, if only this man, well, with everything there's good and bad and all sort of things. There's people who speak good of him, there are people who speak ill of him. um it's life. There are some people who agreed with what he did, some are against it, some are saying he was this, he was that, he wasn't all of that, some are saying he was the cat's meow. You're gonna get different take from people based on the understanding and what have you. But I just stopped and think for a minute, listening to him and his plans and the way he spoke, and he didn't bow to anybody, regardless if you're giving him a dollar or two or you're helping sending money your way or whatever. But his conviction in terms of people and development and making sure that your people are okay first. I sat there and I'm like, I wonder if 1983 didn't happen the way it happened, and he was given a chance, an opportunity to really govern this rock. I really wonder what that would be like. You know, would we be more advanced, or would we be like where we are, sort of? You know, he was when you talk about visionary, it's like he was ahead of his time. He was like a young man in an old body, in an old soul. He saw things ahead of time. He envisioned things before it even happened. Like how, like, you guys ever stop and listen? Don't even get me started on this Christopher Columbus nonsense. Christopher Columbus was a rapist, among other things, and nobody speaks about that. And they have the information is there. Christopher Columbus, my foot. But I'm talking about Morris now. Have you guys thought, like, where would we be? I mean, I was just listening. Let me see if I could play a little bit of it. Just listen this man's voice. Like, hold on.
Comrades all. May I start off, sisters and brothers,
Y'all hearing?
by bringing to you warm fraternal greetings from the free people of revolutionary Grenada.
Just a little bit.
And may I also, right at this very beginning, say how very, very pleasant it is to be back in New York among you, to be in this great hall where there are so many hundreds of our sisters and brothers. That is going to bring a great deal of pleasure to our free people, and I will certainly report your warmth, your enthusiasm, and your revolutionary support for our process when I return. Of course, we are here among friends. But looking around, there are two people here who are right now of this visit, and we also want to place our appreciation on the record. Of course, we set ourselves other objectives once the visit was definitely confirmed. And these objectives included the very important objective of trying to see what we could do to deepen and strengthen the people-to-people relations which have always existed between our two countries, Grenada and the United States. At the level of the people, there has never been any problem. At the level of the people, we have always had excellent relations with the people of the United States.
You know, and I'm listening to this, right? And it's a live video. And this man didn't have no phone in his hand. Well, back then, you know, no paper, reading from nothing. He just stood there and spoke. And and the camera pans on the audience, and people are just like sitting there like this, just smiling. You know, this man is talking serious stuff, and people are there smiling because they felt his energy. As this person here is saying, he was indeed a transformative leader. I mean, just think about it as a young person being under, you know, his watch. So many years later, and some of the things that he spoke about, a couple in existence, and there's a lot that still. But we are involved in a bunch of other things that makes absolutely no sense. You know, when these are the things we should be clamoring for, all the necessary changes, you know, instead of us sitting here and having the same old conversation every year. So like I said, I was kind of glad when the person, you know, sort of canceled on me, because like, you know what? I really don't want to talk about this today, because it seems like we do the same thing every year, and it's like nothing much happens. You don't see much change. You don't see much, you know, being done. Children are still clueless, you know. Dallas says, used to teach some people back in the day and they were so happy. I'm telling you, this man just stood there and spoke. Just stood there and spoke. Hi, Shauna, says one of the greatest leaders ever. Morris was a true visionary, pioneer, magnanimous thinker. He was bigger than life. You know, some people, you see them and there's just this ball of energy, and it's like they see their glass is always full. There's nothing but half full and half empty. No, full, always full. You got that sort of energy from him. He had this commanding tone that, you know, even though you didn't know him, you wanted to respect him, regardless of all the other things surrounding the revolution and how it came about and who's right and who's wrong and who did this and who did the other. I wasn't there, so I can't. I'm just going on people's opinion and the pieces that I've read regarding that. But his voice
upon the poor developing countries of the third world, while the industrialized countries continue to exploit our resources and to keep the profits. But yet, sisters and brothers, in the face of all of that, the Grenada Revolution has nonetheless continued to go forward and to make progress. At a time when even the big, powerful, industrialized nations were growing backwards last year, we grew forward by 5.5%. The revolution in Grenada, starting from a base from Gary of 49% unemployment, coming from that base, when we did a census last year, April 1982, the unemployment rate had dropped from 49% to down to 14.2%.
GS, you just took the words literally out of my mouth. I was just about to say, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Mia Motley. She's like the female version of Morris Bishop. She's outspoken, she's blunt, she says it like she means it, takes no prisoners. That last speech she gave, was it at the UN or wherever she was? Speaking on, you know, the bigger countries gobbling everything up and the smaller ones having to fight for the crumbs and something to that effect. He reminds me of the female version. She reminds me of the female version of Morris. I swear, her energy, the same sort of bigger than life approach. She reminds me of him a whole lot. Yeah, she's my OG. I just love her. His voice. This is what you call charismatic and compelling, and a public speaker. But sometimes what they're saying don't even make sense. But his made sense, but sometimes they don't make sense. But the way you command your presence and everything, it grabs people's attention. Just listen to this for a minute. I didn't give the man a chance to talk.
The last year of Gary, 1978, the capital investment program was $8 million. The first year of the revolution, that figure was more than doubled. It went to $16 million. The second year of the revolution, it was doubled again. It went to $39.9 million. And by this time, the experts were saying that is impossible. You don't have the resources, you don't have the management, you don't have enough tractors, you don't have enough trucks, you don't have enough engineers. You can't possibly do it. You all were only lucky in 1979 when you double Gary own. And you're only lucky in 1980 again when you double your own. And then when we went to 1981 and we double it again, they say, well, we don't know if it's luck, but something is wrong. You all can't do that again. And then last year in 1982, it went up to over 100 million. And then we gave them the secret. We told them that in a revolution, things operate differently in the normal situation.
Listen, they didn't even give the man a chance to talk. Like every sentence is applause and applause. And he's not reading. He's just standing there talking. He'll glance ever so often at his notes, but he was just like engaged in a conversation. It wasn't a speech. It was a conversation. The only difference is the people in the audience weren't responding, but they were doing it through applause. So imagine all of that. As this person says, he wasn't perfect, but he was a true hold on, I moved my camera so I'm not seeing at the end. Yes, he said it wasn't perfect, but he was a true leader, a great patriot. Some of our politicians should take a page from his book. Sometimes, and like I said, I don't wear political lenses. Politics and religion are two things that grinds my gears. But and I get this feeling every time like you travel, every time and that's why I say it's important that at some point everyone should visit somewhere else other than where they live, go someplace else. And I swear every time I travel, and when it always hits me when I'm like the plane is about to land at the Morris Bishop International Airport, it always hits me like you get this sense of happiness, but this sense of sadness because you're like going back to like the same old that you've known for years. While home is home and you're always happy to be home, people who live outside wouldn't totally get it because they live, in other places, so you're just coming for a short while. But to be living here 365 days of the year and don't go anywhere, at some point, I think everyone, I know it's not possible, but it's just wishful thinking, could get that opportunity. Because sometimes I ask myself, like, where are we really? Where are we going? Where are we headed really? Have we made enough strides? Have we? And I say to myself, you know what, self, I know we really could do more and we should be more advanced. We really could be and should be way more advanced than. I just feel like we've been stuck for the last 15 years. It's like I really can't see anything different that I can scream about and say, well, it's like you're living life on autopilot. Like you just know the pilot puts it on autopilot and the plane knows where it's supposed to go. So you just lean back and just do what you got to do. And you don't worry about it. It's like there's so much you wish there could be, and not we're not just talking about the physical development, but in terms of our people, where we are mentally, where we are socially, and even economically. You know, so many young people graduating and not sure what to do with all the subjects they've garnered, or those who receive scholarships, they even never return. Well, they return as a visitor, but all the things they've learned, the expertise and everything, another country benefits. And it's like not a big deal. I just think we could be more advanced. I just think that we're still behind as compared to other Caribbean islands. And like I said this morning, lately I feel like I live in Jamaica. Like I sleep in Grenada, but I live in Jamaica because I'm on every blog, I'm on every news page, I'm on every news something live or something. And sometimes you see people who visit Jamaica and they'll post up their stories and the pictures, and the amount of you'd be like, that's Jamaica? Like really? The things to do, the amount of things to do from, a tourist perspective, you can't get bored. As a matter of fact, you can visit over and over again and always find something to do. And then I think of here and I'm like, a couple of days ago, I was having a conversation with someone and I said to them, if I lived outside of Grenada, unless I'm coming to visit family or, just maybe a carnival time, honestly, you may call me unpatriotic, call me whatever you want. I'll probably just pass through. And it would not be on my bucket list there because there's so many places you can go where you see tangible development. And I might get some flack for saying it, but as a visitor, unless you're just coming to relax at your hotel and just chill on the beach and not too keen on anything else, it's fine. But the development, the tourism product that we speak so highly of, that we seem to spend a lot of money on advertising and talking about, what is there exactly to do? What is there exactly to do if you want more than just the beach experience to lay in your hotel? When I'm seeing certain things in Jamaica, you literally have to ask. It's like little foreign, like Auntie Donna would call it. Like Jamaica is like a little foreign. You don't even need to go to America because they practically got everything, every franchise, every in terms of tourist attraction, they've got it. And like I said, practically almost every not almost majority of Caribbean islands have beaches and sand and sea and sun. There's no snow in the Caribbean. So what makes us that special and authentic that somebody needs to come here? The warm smiles, what again? Nutmeg, the little visitor basket thingy, that little monkey up in Granny Tang. I think they got one or two. The one that sometimes comes when he feels like coming out to show his face. Other times when he's not in the mood and can't be bothered with y'all, he ignores you or turns his back, or is just sitting there scratching, his testicles and paying you no mind. What else is there? You go to the lake, you sit, and there's a whole bunch of bush. Like, help me. What else is there? Some waterfalls that is like to get to them is like, okay, I'm not doing this again. What else is there really? Like safety, of course, without a doubt, safety, and that is also important. You want to be safe wherever you're going, but apart from the safety, what else will keep me coming? And as Michael says, we got the stuff, but we don't do anything to boost it up at all. And all it takes is a little bit more vision, some money, get some think tanks, create ideas, because we saw the fallout from COVID and, you know, visitors not being able to come here. What happened? What really sets us apart? Alvina says friendly. You can find friendly people anyway because wherever I've traveled, I've never met somebody that's been mean to me. I always find friendly people. So friendly people, yeah. Safety. Okay, what else? What else sets us apart that makes you want to come here, come here? If you weren't Grenadian. So just put yourself in the position of a non-Grenadian, somebody who wants to go on a vacation and have some fun and get away from the norm, etc. So somebody says peaceful, but if you're a young visitor, a young energetic visitor, you're probably a nurse, doctor, whatever, and you work really long hours and you just want to go somewhere to have fun and free up. Yes, safety is important, friendliness is important, peaceful is important. Okay, what attracts me then? What else can I be attracted to? What do I put on my itinerary? Claude says Carriacou is the place. What's to do in Carriacou, Claude? I'm thinking about coming to Carriacou for a weekend. What's to do? Narissa says, for me, there's a peace of mind and good vibe I am yet to experience anywhere else in the world. I honestly feel safe and at ease, relax. Narissa, that's true, without a doubt. There's no question in it. Like I said, as a non-Grenadian, we will feel all those things because at the end of the day, this is home. We love this place to our heart. Regardless, we love it. So you'll always come home. You feel obliged, obligated to come home, sort of. But I'm asking, if you were not a Grenadian, Sheena says the things that are unique to Grenada and for us to make it better, we don't see value in it. You are so right about that. Wall Street and Fish Friday and the one that used to be in Victoria and Saturday should be developed. So much more we can with that alone. Say like Oystons, it says Lawrence Gap in Barbados and all those places. What else is there for young people? So forget about the visitor experience now. Let's focus on those of us who live here. This is home. Apart from go chilling by a bar, party, how much more can we do for home? I can't be the only one feeling like something is honestly missing. Like we're in 2021 going into 2022. And I just feel like something is missing. I just feel like there's something more that can be added to what we have. Somebody says Carriacou making people sleep all day. I listen to this person says Carriacou, but I didn't want to say nothing, eh? Scuba, it says scuba, sailing. Well, listen, I went to Carriacou one time and by 3 o'clock, tongue empty. Not even a dog in the street. All man inside. So I love Carriacou, but I can't live in Carriacou. I'm sorry. As much as I love peace and quiet, it's a little too peaceful and quiet for me. A little too peaceful and quiet, although I love it. Somebody says Grenada would be so much further ahead than it is now. But where are the people with the ideas? Where are the people with the vision? Everybody left our shores, they departed for greener pastures and didn't return. Where are our people with innovative idea? I miss theater and museums. Someone says descent while hiking up for the forest type areas. So Grenada simply needs to upgrade its side. The islands are uniquely naturally. It says safety, friendliness of the people, all that's for retirement. People there's no nightlife here as a result, rest and relaxation away from the hectic life that we are accustomed to. So when you've lived years in a fast-paced environment, you want relaxation. Many visitors are drawn to that. Visitors often like the natural beauty of the island. Yeah, I get that, but I'm talking about like the more younger people who are looking for excitement. You want to incorporate the two because you don't want to just come and stay in your hotel and just be peaceful for a week, 2 weeks. Apart from that, other little things you want to do. Wow, that's the time already. I gotta go. Says the thing that missing in Grenada is cash flow. Workers don't get paid enough, so no disposable income. Every payday Grenada turn up, and after that, you turn down. And you know you eat lobster at the end of the month, and after that, you're back to ramen. So it says we have to shift our tourism product from catering to older white couples that visit to young black people that want to come and spend and enjoy. That right there is hitting the nail on the head. Exactly what I'm trying to say. What about the young people who want that experience, that island experience? Because I'm seeing a whole lot of young people heading to Jamaica. I'm seeing a lot of young people turning up in Jamaica. I'm telling you, I got millions. I think I have way more Jamaicans on Instagram than I have Grenadians that I'm following or tune into their lives. And when you see them visiting Jamaica and you're seeing the level of fun, trust me. So we need to strike a balance. The elderly folks who want some peace and quiet, and the young folks who wants to turn up on their on the vacation. Like for instance, what's his face? What's her name? The two young guys they got with some that influencer girl and Greg. He's a designer, whatever, loads of money, and they went to Jamaica. And I was following their stories and their lives, and they're young people in their 20s, and the way they were turning up. They went horseback riding, they went parasailing, they went scuba diving, they went up into this place to make coffee. It was just a lot they were doing. They were just having a time. It's young people. So where's the balance for the young who wants to have fun and the older ones who just want to chill? Are we ready to have a conversation on this October 19th? So I gotta go, but hey, President safety is the number one asset for visitors. Yes, you should always look for improvements, and I know that things have improved over the years from when my kids visited to now when they visit as young adults. Did everything else. Someone says when Lewis Hamilton wanted to come, we made sure to get rid of what could be that thing missing. Michael says, bring Grenada. We like to watch what everyone does and run with it. I'm not sure about that. You run with things that make sense and run with things that you can benefit from. I'm not talking about running with any old thing for running with its sake. But like I said, it's for people who actually live here and want, people like what they like. So, Michael, if you happen to be one of those who just like to come chill, no fuss, no nothing, suck to mango, lay on the beach, that's okay. But you're not the only person who comes here, and there's other people who want to and want a different experience. So have to cater for those people as well. So it's not fair to say that we're in Grenada like to watch everyone else does and run with it. I know about that because I certainly don't do that. But at the end of the day, like I said, everybody have their taste and what they like and don't like. And if you're living here more than 300 days of the year, you would understand. But when you live in the US or United Kingdom or Canada, wherever else, trust me, if you live there, you would have no problem wanting just to chill and come here and just lay back. It's a different experience for you because you don't live here. So it will always be good, and it will always be, you like it that way. But if you were to live in it like every single day, you'd be singing a different tune. I kid you not. I can promise you, if you lived here and not just come for a visit for a week or two, because a week or two you could pull your shades on, put your shades on and not see a lot of things, because your sole purpose for coming for a week or two is just chill, maybe drink some rum somewhere, maybe eat some oil down, visit family, for 2 minutes, and then you jump your plane and you bounce again. But for those who are genuinely concerned about development and wanting more, that is a different story. Anyway, we gotta go. Be back tomorrow, same time, same place for another show. And thank you so much. Of course, like I said earlier on, school tentatively November 1st to 12th, to see where we can what's the next move after that? It's important to get our children back into the classroom. So, looking forward to seeing how that goes. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me and for keeping me company, and of course, chiming in and joining the conversation. Our ladies' room came to you through the kind compliments of Esquimalt Variety Store, Beacon Insurance, and Western Union. Same time tomorrow, we'll be back for another one. Have a good Tuesday, guys.